Well, here we are. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Sorry I started a little bit late. Let me check my audio here to make sure it's working. And it seems to be working good. Hello, welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to DeWitt here on this wonderful Sunday evening, afternoon. I guess depends what time zone you're in, but it's late afternoon for us, 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hello, hope everybody's doing well. Jerry, if you're watching, listen, we're all hoping, we're all thinking about you, Jerry. I know you went through your surgery, and praying that you heal up quickly and you're back at her sooner than you think. So we're all thinking of you, Jerry. Just thought I'd let you know that prayers out to you, my friend. So heal fast. So I don't even know if you're watching, but you might be, just in case. So there we go. Let's see who's in chat this evening, shall we? Oh, there we have 3D Medic Vince, another CG Tuxedo is here, Guy the Jedi, SPC 3D, oh, the Ranch Kid, and Ogre FPV is here, and Kenneth Davis is here, and Tuxedo, and Brent Ferguson is here. Brent Ferguson, hello, hello, hello. Nitwit's a symbol. Listen, just because I did recognize the name from last week, which was, it doesn't matter. Matthew, is Matthew here tonight? Let's see, did I see you in here, Matthew? Let's just see. Anyways, I'm not sure if you're here listening, you might get here. Brent Ferguson's here, everybody's here. I think I've said hi to everybody. We're going to do the Polymaker draw again tonight. I still owe 3D Printcraft UK and Matthew Morey 1329. I still owe you guys codes from Polymaker. I am still waiting to get access from Polymaker. I'm going to push a little harder this week to get that access. So, because they're, from my end anyways, the code generator that I generally send into to receive the codes is still not working. So I am still waiting on Polymaker. You guys will get your codes. I can pretty much promise you that. Polymaker will not let me down, but I'm not sure what the delay is, but I'll find out as quick as I can this week, and we'll get back to it. I had a real busy week at my full-time business last week, so I haven't done as much testing on this guy as I wanted to. I wanted to get the prints for the MOG started this week, but I just haven't had the time. Other things, you know, of course, my business and my full-time income kind of takes priority over everything, and that was a real busy week last week leading up to the end of the month. So that's why tonight we're just going to have a real easy, casual stream. I'll show you a few things that I've printed already this week. I'll give you a few things that little quirks and quacks or whatever you want to call it, that I found on this printer so far. Nothing bad, just some things I'm hoping I can maybe change in software or something, or maybe they'll change, but we'll talk about a few things here shortly. And we're going to try running some test prints and try running some TPU through it and see what we can get. So meanwhile, hey, Clownhammer is here. Hello, Clownhammer. 23 and a half years, I'd be busy at the day job. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the Polymaker here, Tuxedo. I'm not sure what's happening, but I'll be in contact with my contact there this week and see what's going on, what's taking so long, because this is now week 3. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so we'll see. Hey, Betty Boop, hello, hello. Everybody else is here. I think I've said hi to everybody. We have 23 of you guys on here. So Jerry Martin is here. Hello, Jerry Martin. And yeah, go ahead and enter the Polymaker draw, but again, I won't be able to give you the code tonight because I'm still waiting to get access to that. So go ahead and do that. Meantime, you guys were all here last week when we set up the Creator 5. I'm hoping I get a little more time this week to actually do some printing of some stuff, not only on this testing, but I want to get the MOG LDO kit going. So I got to get the printing on that going, as I say. Full-time job takes priority, so that's kind of what happened last week. But I also wanted to come on tonight. I thought, do I want to stream, because I don't have a lot to stream about tonight? But yeah, I like streaming, just hanging out, just you know, to give you guys something to do on this very rainy Sunday. And oh, by the way, congratulations apparently are going to Team Canada in the FIFA World Cup. Apparently Canada beat South Africa today to move on to some other round or something. So good on you, Canada. I think that's the best they've ever done in a World Cup showing. So that's awesome. That is awesome. Hey, Steve Alpha, sorry you're late, you're here. That's okay, Steve Alpha. We started a little bit late, no big deal. Indie Nations is here. I'm just seeing if anybody else has popped in. Let's see. I think that's it. I suggest you find the MOG a place to live before you start building it. Yeah, right? So right. Go Canada, says Tuxedo. Yes, exactly. So I was at lunch with some friends and we were watching a little bit of the Team Canada game while we were having lunch, and it was a 0-0 tie halftime when we left. And I guess between then and when I heard I don't even know what the final score was, but I heard they won. So that's awesome. That is awesome. This was the knockout round, win or go home. Way to go, Canada. Yeah, they won, so I guess they go on to the next round. That's awesome. Don't even know who they play next, but that's good. So last week we had something interesting happen with this. Not interesting, but last week when we unboxed the Creator 5 and we ran a first test print, which was a Benchy. I have the Benchy here. Here, let me switch over. I think I got this camera aiming here. Yeah, no, wrong. You're not aiming the right way. Where are you going? Oh, you're aiming it. Oh, I see. You're all the way up there. Sorry, we're going to turn this camera here and aim it right down here. There's the Benchy that we printed last week. For those of you that stuck around to the end of the stream, the Benchy fell apart. Hey, Nick is here too, I think. I might be saying hi to different people. Delamination last week. Yeah, so the Benchy fell apart. There's the bottom of the Benchy. I believe this was the next section of the Benchy. It's like a little puzzle, right? And then we had the front of it here, like that. And then we had the little, what went next? I think it was this guy here that went like this. Or is it this way? Oh no, I think it was this way. Hard to tell. Oh yeah, it was this way. Or something like this. And then we had, I don't even know where this piece goes. I think this piece goes. Doesn't matter. And then we had the top. Anyways, Benchy fell apart. It delaminated at the color breaks. Oops, that's kind of. Get over here and stay focused. Come on, keep the camera focused. So it delaminated at the color breaks. I thought that's really strange. So I did the second test print on there, which I didn't keep, but it was just a little badge with the Flashforge logo in it. It delaminated as well. So I thought, what the heck is going on? Because it was all, it was either Panchroma or PLA that was on there, which should stick together. So that had me a little concerned. That was one of the pre-baked prints too. Weird. Yeah, it was one of the. It was on the card. It was basically in the machine. The print was already there, and yeah, that was a test print. So I thought, okay, that's weird. And then also, so we've kind of got the answer to that. No big deal, no worries. Okay, so we'll throw that there. Somebody else asked me to do a first layer test, and I didn't have time in the stream, but we did do a first layer test, which isn't bad compared to some other printers I've had, but you can see it's not perfect, but it's not bad. I was still overly happy with how this first layer test went. So here is the first layer test. This was just basically doing a 0.4 millimeter print on the whole entire bed surface. It turned out pretty good, although there were a couple spots on the bed, as you can see, that did kind of delaminate there. On the other edges, we're fine here. Okay, over here, we're fine. Here, I can zoom this out a little bit more. There we go. So we're fine over here, and there's a couple weak spots here, and then we're pretty much fine here, and we're fine on these corners here. So there's a couple spots in the bed where it's not 100%, but as far as a first layer goes, if we're building up on these first layers, that's not bad. I'm happy with that. I'd like to see these little parts go away, but that also may have something to do with why this delaminated, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, so that was the first layer test. Doop. Not much more satisfying than a good first layer peel, and it did all peel in one piece, which is good. I thought maybe if it comes off in two, but we had those weak spots in the middle, but because it looks like a little bit of under extrusion, but I think I know why, and I think it's to do with temperature of the filament, temperature I was running the filament at. which is, I think, part of the reason for the delamination of the benchy. I believe the default temperature that the benchy was printing at on this was either 200 or 205. Now, when you're dealing in the higher speeds, I like to crank these temperatures up a little bit more. So meanwhile, this week I did some more test printing, a couple test prints. I did this really cool thing. Well, I found this cute because I have a dog. So this is just a little, it's actually a little puppy paw print food scoop, okay? You just scoop your food out, okay? I made an error in the slicing. I wanted this, our dog's name is Waylon Jennings with an M's, Waylon Jennings. I wanted his name to be in blue, but I thought I colored it, but when I colored it, I did something and I uncolored it, and when I went to print, I thought, oh crap, but it turned out pretty good, but it's not bad. If you look, this was more so just a print to show the qualities. Let me go to the overhead to maybe be able to get a better idea of the color and the quality there. But overall, I'm happy with the quality of this print. This was about, overall, I think it was a 2.5 hour print, something like that, maybe 2 hours and 40 minutes. But that is a clean, trying to get in, there we go, under the camera. That's a nice, clean, beautiful print for Waylon. There's the first layer on the bottom here. I'd call that a perfect first layer, okay? This was printed out of, this is Polymaker, Polylite PLA blue, and the white is actually some Creality high-speed PLA that I happen to have sitting around a roll from my old Creality days. And so that's what that was printed out, and this turned out really well. And then this is the waist. That's the tower, and that was it as far as the two-color print. Which again, there's no purge waste because we don't need to have purge waste on this little guy here. So that was pretty cool. I like that print. It's for scooping his food. So we're going to use that. But now the wife has asked me, okay, now make a container big enough to hold this scoop, and we can hold his food. I don't know if I'll be able to do that on this printer, but I can probably make a nice blue container on my 400mm printer at the office, so we'll see what happens. There's that one. Let's just see what we got in the chats here. Tulsa Skin, hello, hello. 3D Printcraft UK, hey! 3D Printcraft UK, I have not forgotten about you. I was just saying it earlier, I think maybe before you came on. I am still waiting to hear from Polymaker. We had a winner last week too, and I'm still waiting on. And we're going to have a winner tonight, and I'm still going to be waiting on them. So you have not been forgotten, trust me. Okay, you will get your code. My hands are kind of tied right now because I'm waiting on Polymaker to fix the issue with the code generator. So there we go. There we go. That's the travel version of the benchy there. That's funny. Yeah, a collapsible benchy. So anyways, no layer adhesion problem with this, okay? I ran this at 220 degrees for the filaments, so I think part of it could have been the temperature. The other part was that there's an option that was not turned on for the benchy print, which is a flow calibration. So, whoops, and then, so for these prints, and I did not turn flow calibration on for the first layer test print too, so it could be that the flow calibration needs to be run on specific filaments in order to calibrate the flow. So flow calibration was on for this, and there's no separation at all. I mean, I can bend, I can twist, and we're not separating colors in here at all, okay? My next test print was this beauty. Okay, I did this one yesterday. Okay, again, this is the same Polymaker PLA blue and the same Creality high-speed white. This turned out phenomenal. It's just a little print. It's called, I just got this off of Printables, and it's just called PS Modern Square Bowl Cairo Dual Color. Pretty simple. And I just got this off Printables because I thought it was a really cool looking bowl. It's a great way to test the tool changing capabilities of this, because you can see this and you can just imagine all the color changes that were involved in this. Look at that. And it turned out just beautifully clean. Let me go to the overhead camera, show you how nice and clean. Oh, this print turned out. if I can, there, we get under there. Look at that. That is beautiful looking. I like that. So you can imagine all the purge that would have happened on this, on doing it on an AMS system. And I'm going to show you the comparison in time. I was surprised it wasn't a bigger difference, but still, this is just beautiful. And we have, again, a perfect first layer. Okay, there we go. We can get the light shining on there. This is perfect first layer. And it's a beautiful print inside and out. I have no complaints about this whatsoever. I can't point out any flaws in this print. I tried. Okay, so here, let's get an even closer look at that. Okay, there's no stringing, no nothing. And this is straight off the build plate, just as you see it. I did cheat in one little aspect. I did use 3D lac spray on the bed. Number one, because I haven't cleaned the bed since I got it. Number two, I just wanted to make sure I had a perfect first layer with no lifting, because I didn't use a brim or anything on it either. So I did use some 3D lac spray, boom. Doesn't mess up the bottom layer, nothing, and it just turned out beautiful. So, and the amount of waste for this, right here. That's the purge tower for this. That's it. And again, you can imagine the amount of purge there would have been had this been on an AMS type system. So again, another nod for the tool changer. Now, I was surprised, and how accurate it is, I'm not sure. I was really surprised when I sliced this. I didn't print this on the bamboo, but I did slice it on the bamboo on the A1 with the AMS, just to see what the difference would be. And I was actually quite surprised the little bit of time difference that it would have taken between this being printed on the Creator 5 versus on the bamboo. So I'll show you this right now. It would have taken 48 hours on a non-tool changer. You would think, right? You would think, but no. Underwater basket weaving. Oh, that's funny. If you can't eat soup in it, it's not a bowl. I'm just reading, more like a tray than a bowl. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments here. You guys are funny. Surprisingly enough, here, let me switch to the display here so you can see. So here it is on the Flashforge. Okay, here it is ripped on or sliced on the Flashforge. A G-code path goes beyond. Oh, that's just because I've got the tower beyond it, but that's okay. All we're looking at here is the time. So on the Flashforge, we were looking, did I actually switch screens? Yeah, I think I did. On the Flashforge, we are looking at 12 hours and 9 minutes to print this, okay? And we're looking at 201 grams of filament total, and it was a 16 gram purge tower, or wipe tower, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's on the Creator 5. Oop. When I sliced it in bamboo, so think that we went from 12 hours, bamboo said, it said only 15 hours and 6 minutes. I don't know if I believe that, but I thought that's only 3 hours longer, or 3 hours, yeah, about 3 hours longer than on the Flashforge. So I find that kind of, I was surprised that there was only a 3 hour difference. From 201 to 246 grams of filament, so we're almost 50 grams of filament more. We had a 58 gram purged filament for the color swaps, and 13 gram purge tower. So a smaller purge tower, but a lot more purge, but you know, a lot more. The Flashforge doesn't purge doesn't do any purging between colors at all. But 58 grams of that for a total. So it's only 50 grams more filament used on the bamboo, but only 3 hours time difference. I found that really, I can't imagine that that's only a 3 hour time difference when you look at all the color swaps that the bamboo has to do. Like, each layer has a color swap. Each individual layer had a color swap. If you look at that, the way that this is printed, look at that. So I don't know. Anyways, that's I find that a little bit sus, but the only way to really know would be to actually load this up on the bamboo and print it and see, which I may just be tempted to do. So what do you guys think? Hey Mike, how you doing? Good evening, good evening. Would have taken 40, yeah, so let's see, for K2 plus. Oh, and a K2 Plus, another CG says. You would have expected a lot longer. Me too, right, Tuxedo? Does it account for changeovers? Well, that I don't know. See, that might just be strictly printing time and not actually swapping filament time. I would hope that they would allow for swapping filament time, but I don't know. So, must do an actual test. It will be down by next. It will be done by next stream. Yeah, exactly. Where is the source STL? Let me slice it in Creality. It is on. Let me look it up for you. Looking to print hat basket too. I have it loaded up in the plate. Oh, this basket or a hat? You're looking to print this basket too? It is on printables. If you just go on printables and look up here, I'll put the link here. I'll put the link in where I got this exact one. And there we are there. And then I'm going to post the link right here. So there's a link to that basket right there. If you want to try it. What do I have loaded? I don't even have filament loaded on my A1 to start. Maybe what I'll do is after this stream, I'll start the print up and see. So we'll see what happens. But what I'm doing here now is I wanted to test my theory about the layer adhesion on this. So what I'm doing right now on the Creator 5 is I am printing I just went in the slicer, created a sphere, and I'm printing a little sphere. Get up there and focus. I'm printing a little 2-color sphere, and I want to see if the layer adhesion is better now that I'm using the flow calibration and I'm using the higher temperature on these 2 filaments. Again, it's the Polymaker blue up top, and it's the Creality white on the bottom, and this should be finished in about another minute or 2, I think. Let's see what we say here. It says it's got a minute left, so. And then I want to just check and make sure that we get good layer adhesion, and then that benchy was just a matter of not having the perfect settings for the pre-sliced file that they had as their test file. And they might want to look at that, because if, think about it, if you just bought this printer, you don't know a lot about the temperature differences or about the flow calibration, and you just printed your test model and it fell apart, you'd think, well, this is pretty crappy. So we don't know. Got it on printables, perfect. It should, you may not have it selected. Oh, to the switch over time, is that what you're saying, Tulsa Skin? Let me see what it had in that filament slicing result. So if I color scheme filament summary, let's look at summary. Summary still says 15 hours. The interesting thing too is the cost. It shows cost on of bamboo, of course, based on my filament prices that I've input, of $6.18. And on the Flashforge, it shows a cost of $4.02. So there's a $2 savings in filament waste alone on that. And if you're doing this, if you're doing print for profit, you're throwing a lot of profit away by throwing away the purged crap that you don't need, the poop that we all like to call it. So yeah. So there's that. Looking to the Prusa Blood Red for doing a USC Trojans football helmet because they closely matches the color. It's a, yeah, Prusa filament's expensive, but again, I've used much of it. It's expensive filament, but it's really, really good filament. So, but again, there's a lot of great filaments out there. Bamboo filament's excellent. Of course, Polymaker makes excellent filament. This Creality filament I'm using is excellent. I've got some Flashforge. I talked about these last week. These came separate from the printer, but Flashforge sent me two kilos of filament to try, and I will. I've got Luminous Melody, which looks like an interesting color for sure. Here, let me show you these colors. Luminous Melody and Galaxy Blue. And these look like pretty interesting colors. So if I zoom in further here, if I go to the number 3, oops, wrong one, number 4. There we go. You got the Luminous Melody, which almost looks like a cotton candy kind of funky color mixture here. And then they sent me the Galaxy Blue, which I haven't even opened these yet to try them. I was going to load them as the first ones to go on the printer last week, but I had left them in my car and My wife stole the car, not stole, but you know, borrowed the car. So, and I've heard Flashforge filament is good. So there's great filaments, but it's the colors, as you say, the blood red. There's only certain vendors you can get certain colors from. I have a filament that I used to get from 3D Fuel, and it was called. Oh, what was it called? I think I have a roll here, or a bit of it here. Yeah, it was called Iron Red, and it's a beautiful, deep, rich red. I can't even describe the color, but I couldn't find that color with any other supplier, and then I can't find it anymore unless it's a 3 kilogram roll, I think it was, from 3D Fuel, and I can't get 3D Fuel in Canada anymore, so kind of sucks when you find something and you can't get it. So let's see, who else has popped here? Deanna the Baker, still trying to figure out your neutrino. Oh, Deanna the Baker is here. I didn't see her, and I should have said hi. She probably popped in. There we are. Yes, I'm here. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Polymaker for all your hobby and lobby stuff. Brent says, yep. The 3MF file is still slicing. It's a big file. It took a little while to slice that file for me too, so yeah. 250 millimeter per second average. Flashforge burnt titanium. Burnt titanium. I have to look into that. I think I can get Flashforge filament locally. I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, this print finished. So we've got this guy finished. Oops, you're aiming a little high. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So we finished that. So let's go ahead, pop this off, and let's see if we have layer adhesion between these two colors. And I did specifically straight across because that's the way the benchy worked. There's our little purge tower here, or our waste tower, whatever you want to call it. So there's very little waste. Now, one thing I will say, which I did find really interesting, I had these filaments preloaded anyways, okay? And there's some people that criticize this about the Flashforge. Some people have legitimate arguments, some people don't. But so basically, when you load the filament on the Creator 5 here, when you load each tool head, what it does is it, and everybody knows this, but I'm going to explain it anyways because I can, and because I want to. So what this does is that it picks up the head, it brings it over here, it parks the head on this little rubber thingy here while it heats up. And then each head, as you load it, it purges the filament out to basically purge out the old color, and it ends up in a little pile of filament down at the bottom. There we go. And there we go. So it ends up as a little pile of filament down in the bottom here. And there's no catch bin, but I'm sure there's there's people that have made the little catch bins. I don't care. I just take it and I throw it in the garbage. So it accumulates down here. Then it goes to the next head, same thing, and it piles about, oh, I don't even know how much, but it's not as much as I thought of filament on the bottom when it loads it, okay? And it loads all the colors. No different than loading a Prusa Core 1. Yeah, other than the Prusa Core 1 might have a catch bin, right? Apparently the U1 has a catch bin. But anyways, so no big deal. Apparently though, I watched a video this week that on the Creator 5 Pro, okay, so the main difference between this and the Creator 5 Pro, there's a few main differences, but the main differences are the Creator 5 Pro has a hat that covers this whole thing. It has an in-chamber heating fan, and it has I think filtering fans. So the in-chamber heating fan blows out, it goes in here somewhere, okay? This is the intake for the in-chamber heating fan. This is the outtake for the in-chamber heating fan, and this is our standard, I guess, just cooling fan or venting fan. When they, in this video, I don't remember who it was, but he showed when it was purging the filament as it was loading, this fan was running, the chamber heater was running at the same time it was loading, and this fan was sucking filament in through these openings and getting jammed up in the fan. Now that might have been a pre-release version, because apparently what they've done now is they've set the firmware or the software or whatever you want to call it so that when it's loading filament, the chamber heater fan is off. So it's not sucking, and I could see that being a problem for sure, right? So it was just dripping right here and sucking in, right? So apparently that's all been fixed. So yeah, so for now, all it does is it purges the filament each time it loads it, and you get a pile of filament, 4 colors or however many colors you load, and you take it, you throw it out, no big deal. Where am I leading with all this? Well, that's a good point. So when I did this test, just now, nope, it poops in the floor, the door one, the Prusament one, or the Prusa one poops in the floor too. Interesting, cool. Didn't know that. I don't think it's a big deal. Trying to blend it up, says Tulsa Skin. That's funny. Okay, so the one thing that confused me a little bit is that, okay, and in the flow calibration, might change the desktop go to. Why did the microphone change? Did my voice just change or something? My battery didn't die, did it? No, my battery's still good. Okay, it's just I got a message saying my microphone changed to the wireless go to, which is this one. Okay. Anyways, so these 2 colors were already loaded, and then I sent the file to print. And prior to the file printing, what it did is it picked up, first of all, it picked up the white head. It's not a white head, but picked up the white head for the white print head, and parked it over where it normally parks it to load your filament, and it proceeded to purge and purge and purge a whole bunch of white filament. And I thought, that's weird. And so I thought, okay, well, I waited, and then so it picked up the blue, and this you can't see, but I'm going to show you how much blue it purged. I don't think you can see that because it's, anyways, there I'm stretching my arms, okay, that much, and then I'm going to stretch my arms again. I've got the filament in my hands, that much, and I'm going to stretch it out again, and that much. It purged all this blue, even though, and let me wrap it up here so I can give you an idea. Even though the filament was already loaded, it purged all this filament as it was going to start the print. Before it, this is even before it did the bed leveling and the mesh leveling. Winding it up, winding it up, winding it up. Here we go. So this is it here. This is how much it purged right here, even though the filament was already loaded, and it did not need to purge out an old color. Now my thought behind that, this is what I'm thinking, is that this was the flow calibration. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it did a flow calibration prior to doing any of the leveling. It flow calibrated the 2 colors that I was going to use. That's all I can think of, the reason it did this. If you guys know any different why it would do that, let me know, because to me that was a lot of, that's more than when you load the filament. That's more than it purges when you load to change colors. So I just found that really strange. So let's see. Going to pick up a moose head. Let's see, I think that's it. John, what is the best way to get support bases off of a cryo grip? Carefully, I use myself, I use this. So if I have a cryo grip plate, I got one right behind me here. So there's a cryo grip plate right here. And if I have a support base on it, I very carefully run this knife edge along underneath, and I peel it off. And I just make sure that I've gotten good at it, but I make sure that I don't dig into the plate. Or you could, that's what I use. Or you could actually use like this scraper that comes with the bamboo, just like that. You just got to be careful. You don't want to push too hard. You just got to be careful about it. Sometimes they should come off, depending on, the cryo grip plate it's a stupid good grippy plate. I'll give you that. Sometimes they come off, but the smaller support bases, you're right, the smaller support bases sometimes are a bugger to get off. But I'm just very, very careful with a razor to do it. Extremely careful, because I don't want to gouge the plate. And I've had pretty good success with that. So just be really careful with it if you do use a razor, because and that's my explanation comes with a caveat and a no guarantee that you won't wreck your plate if you're not careful with it. So yeah, he's got a knife. Yeah, it's in my pocket. I've put that knife away without retracting it all the way before and cut my leg. So I've done it all. I've done it all. So yeah. But that's how I do it, John. So yeah. Let's see, who else? Plastic razor blades. Plastic razor blades work good too. They dull pretty quick. Cryo grip patience is the key. Let the plate cool down to room temp. Yeah. The other thing I've heard, one of these. Let me see what you're saying there, Andrew Humphrey. Oh, I can't get to there from here. Let me go to YouTube. The other thing that I have heard people do, and this goes way back for removing, is put it in the freezer or the fridge, cool it down even more, and it'll snap off. Because you want that. Cryo grip plates are great, but the more they cool off, the easier the easier things release from them. So you could try that too. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what I want to see what Andrew Humphrey posted there. What he's trying to show me here. Let's see. Let's see in case. Oh yeah, there we go. The plastic razor blades. Yeah. So this is what Andrew was showing. Oh, boop boop right here. Oh, wrong camera. This one. So thyself two-pack plastic razor blade scraper, extra 100 pieces razor blades refills, plastic scraper tool, blah, blah. That would work too, you know. This is the American site, so in this Canadian pricing, I don't know what it costs in Canada. But yeah, something like that would work too. But again, those are going to dull a little quicker. But again, I happen to use this utility knife a lot. And I am just extremely careful with it. I have wrecked plates before, but so I've learned to be careful with it. So, yeah, they work great. Mike V says they work great. The plastic blades. The only problem you have with a plastic razor blade is the fact that they vanish. I have a box of 100. Been trying to find them for over a year. What you got to do, Deanna, in that case, is just one day when you don't need them for anything, go looking and you'll find them when you don't need them. So. Yeah. Hey, Death Cube. Hello. How are you, sir? Remember, guys, go ahead and enter the Polymaker draw. It's pinned at the bottom of the chat. But again, my sincere apologies. I haven't been able to get the last 2 weeks' winners their code yet because there is obviously an issue on Polymaker's end with the code generator that's not working for me. And I have mentioned it a few times now, and I will mention it again this week. So the winners will get your codes, but you just need to be patient with them until Polymaker figures out what's going on their end or until they get back to me with a solution. So go ahead and do that. Order more than you'll find them. That's another way to do it too. You took a chunk out of your first cryo plate. Thank God they're double-sided. Yeah, of course. You live and learn, right? You get to. I use those razor knives every day in my business and the job I do, so I have no problem. So, anyways, let's look at this. We just printed, and this is not separating at the color at all. So this, I just finished this test print because last week the benchy fell apart. But this one here, actually, I'm just going to grab. We're going to give this the real world test. And this was just a sphere that I did in the slicer. Just did the sphere and colored half of it. But we'll give this the real world test and see where it does break. So if I put half of this in these grips, this is just experimental, of course. Come on, and half of this in this grip. I'm going to try and break it at the seam. I can't break it at all. Mind you, my grip might not be the best. Grip that. Let's tighten this one up just a little bit here. There we go. Then we'll grip this one. There will be blood, they say. And, oh yeah, we're squishing the print now. Finally, we got some layer separation. Oh, okay. Okay, that's that. I destroyed this thing, but you will notice in the I destroyed it, but I separated the layer in the white. The layer between the colors is absolutely fine. So there is not a problem with the printer as far as layer adhesion between colors. Whoops! Whoa, whoa. I'm going to call this benchy a poorly sliced or a poorly prepped file in their test files. Again, I think the problem was temperature because they were running this, I believe, 2 or 205. I run everything, especially on these high-speed printers, at 220. so you can keep up the temperature. And they didn't have flow calibration turned on. Of course, this did the flow calibration, which I think was all that wasted stringy stuff anyway. So there's my layer adhesion test, and it's fine. So we can now dispose of that, and we can get rid of the travel benchy. I think, yeah. Let's get rid of the travel benchy. So there we go. This is what Callie, you know, who is scared of. There's a problem with my grip. No way. You got to squeeze till you get dizzy. Barticus, squeeze it till you change color. He's testing color changes. Oh, you guys are funny. For those of you that wonder why I did that, we printed the benchy last week, the test benchy that was already built into the printer, and the test benchy separated at all the colors. So I was concerned about that. And again, we did these other test prints here, and there is no color separation whatsoever on these test prints. So what I want to do now, oh, and for those who were late, that was a first layer test on this thing. Turned out good. We have a little bit of separation in a couple spots, but overall the first layer test came out pretty decent. This did not have flow calibration set for the first layer test, so I think had I used the flow calibration, that would have turned out much better. And I think that's just a setting in the slicer that I can turn on and say use flow calibration. It's just like use auto bed leveling. You can choose to turn them on or off. And because this was a filament that I'd never run on there before, I should have flow calibrated it. I should have calibrated the flow. And it's worth taking that extra 50, 60, whatever seconds at the beginning of every print to do the flow calibration, do the auto bed leveling, do the mesh leveling, because it can save you having to rerun a print, right? So it's going to save you in the long run. So there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, what I want to try now is, I haven't done on here yet, is I want to try TPU. But I want to try two different shore hardness. Is that what they're called? I want to try two different types and shore hardnesses of TPU, because I happen to have two different types of TPU here, and I want to try them together and see what happens. So let's go grab my two TPUs, and I'll show you what we're going to load on here. Okay, first of all, I'm going to grab Polyflex TPU 95 HF. So this is the Polymaker Polyflex TPU 95 HF black. And I happen to have, because I got this sent to me to do some shoes, and I haven't done the shoes yet, but hey, oh well. I'm going to grab another nice opposing color called pink. And this is a flexible material that came from a company called Sting 3D. And it's actually, I don't know why it says 3D pizza. I don't know if I'd print a pizza out of it. But this happened to be, this particular filament is ShoeFlex 9075A filament. So it's a 75A versus a 95A filament. So we have two different flexes of filament here. We have two different colors. This is Satura pink, this is black. This prints at 210 to 240 with a 60 degree bed. This prints at 200 to 220. So we can probably get away with 220 for both of these with a 50 degree bed. And this is a 40 to 60 degree bed. So we can probably get away with a 50 degree bed for both of these at 220 degrees. So I'm going to load these two on. I'm going to quickly create a little test thing just in the slicer. I don't have any models to print, but I just want to do some tests. I want to test two things. I want to make sure this thing loads and basically switches colors between the TPUs with the softer TPU and the harder TPU. And I want to see how they adhere together, and just to see what happens. 75A is a sponge. How about printing those pliers with TPU hinge? TPU, is that the name of the droid from last week? Yeah, the TPU. You guys are funny. I'm going to go ahead over here. I'm going to move this camera so you can see the side of this while I do this. Let's zoom that right out. I don't want to take the lens off. Okay, so let's go here. Well, so we're going to load these, and so we already have something in slots 1 and 2. So the way this works is we have slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4. And of course that corresponds with the slots up top here. Slot. I'm saying slot. So we'll grab TPU, the black Polymaker TPU. And we will run Polymaker TPU from slot I didn't know why I have the Scottish all of a sudden. We'll run this from slot 3 right here. Okay, and with this printer, as we know, we feed this up manually through the hose, through the Petifi tube. Okay, till we get a stop. Okay, then on this, for those that don't know, but if you've been hiding in a cave, you would know that you wouldn't know this, but when you get to the top of your tool, you push this, and you push it in that little bit further, and then when you let go, you're kind of locked in there. So there's the black ready to load. Okay, and then we're going to open this box of pink. Here, let me switch back while I do this, because I have not opened this filament yet. Oh, the seal is broken. There we go. And this is not a full kilogram. These come in, what, 750 grams? Looks like it. 750 grams, okay. Nice boxes. They give you a nice foil bag to put your filament in when you're done. I like when companies do that, because I tend to destroy these bags when I open them, regardless if they're resealable bags or not. Mr. Mom, Michael Keaton. There is actually a model out there of pliers with PLA jaws and a TPU. Oh, really? I did not know that. I didn't know that. See the things I learn. Okay. Let's open this. And this is, oh my God, that's flimsy. I hope I can feed that through. That is flimsy. Oh my God, 75A. Might not work. I don't know. We'll see. Clog-free, bubble-free, tangle-free, consistent color. Filament dry condition. Okay, they give you your if you want to dry it, 70 degrees Celsius, 5 to 6 hours. They have all your drying things on here. I've never heard of this company, Sting 3D, but apparently they make quite the line of filament, and you can order it directly on AliExpress. So let's go ahead and load this. Let's see how easy this is going to be to feed into the tool head, because it is flimsy. But we'll see. There's only one way to figure this out, and that is to test it. I got to at least give myself something that's not tangled or bent. There we go. Oh, sorry about that, droid. Oh, Mr. Droid. Okay, let's see if this will feed easily through here. Okay, so far so good. Okay. Boy, that's flimsy. Flimsy. If maybe I'll get my first tool head jam too, you never know. Here we go, and we have we hit the bottom? Hit the bottom, let's pinch that a little further, and we are gripped. Look at how stretchy that is compared to the 95. Okay, so let's come to our front. Boop, boop. Oh, come on, get that box out of the way. Get out of the way there. Oh, this is called the merry-go-round, where I just take you every which way. And we'll zoom in here a little bit. And then basically on this screen, we touch the screen. And we printed, we're okay. So we're going to go to our filaments. Actually, our filament screen. And we have number 3, edit. That is TPU. Where's my TPU on here? TPU 95A. And it's black. Right there. Okay. And then we're going to go to number 4, edit. It's TPU 90. We don't have a TPU 75, so 64D. It doesn't matter. We'll go 90A. We're going to manually put everything in as far as temperature goes. And this was pink. We'll just do that pink there. Okay, and let's try loading the pink one first. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let me bring you down. Let me bring you down here. The bed's going to come up. Let me see if I can get you a better view here without making you too dizzy. Okay, let's see. We're going to load the pink. So we're bringing the bed up first. Do-do-do-do. Oh, I want to look at that link while this is loading. The Tuxedo put there. I want to see these flexible pliers. That's got me kind of intrigued. Let's see. Let's go look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. For those of you that want to see, I'll just do this really quick. There's what, there's the link, takes you to a flexible plier. Oh, and it's all print in place. Okay, I'm gonna have to try that. I am gonna have to try that. Okay, so we picked up the head. Come on, focus. I don't like when that camera don't focus. There we go. So let's see if we can get some purge if we change the color. It's picking up that pink, that 75A. And here comes the old white filament that was in there. Actually, that was a support material that was in there. That's why it's coming out kind of funky looking. There we are. Now we should see some pink coming out. As long as we don't get a jam in there with that really flexible. And oh, it looks like we're starting to get some pink out of there. Yes, we are. It's very light pink, but look at that. Look how flexible that is. Like, look at that. That's funky. That's pretty cool. Okay, we successfully loaded the pink. Oh, hang on. Let me switch this camera. Look, this is the pink that was there. Look how soft that is. And that still hasn't broken. Like, that is extremely soft. Holy crap. Okay. So we're just going to go over here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to switch. So now that the pink's loaded, man. So we're going to go yes, it loaded. We're going to go back to number 3, and we're going to load the TPU, the black TPU 95A. So cool. And we can come back down here. Picked up the head, and it's going to load that black. Oh my God, I can't wait to see this. This pink is so freaking soft. Oh. Okay, and then we'll go into slicer, and we'll quickly we'll just slice a triangle, something that's not going to take too long. So let's see. Try 2 sets, one with each TPU variant, maybe shrink them down and do 2 on 1 plate. Oh, there's a good idea. And then I want to join them. Yeah. I'm just going to do little test prints is all, nothing specific. Somebody said, can you post the link for the flexible pliers? Yeah, it was already posted, but I'll do it again. Here, let me post that same link for the flexible pliers in case somebody didn't miss it and you don't want to scroll back up. That's fine, absolutely. Here's a link for those flexible pliers. I'm going to actually probably try these and see. And it should be there now. There we are. Hey, Jack in the shop. Hello, welcome. Thanks for popping in. And there goes the TPU, flexible TPU, black, 95A. It's loaded. Whoops. And in comparison, if you saw how I stretched that pink out, let's get the black 95A, and it broke just there. Like, it broke much queener. It broke much queener. It broke much sooner. Okay, well let's try that then. Since we got 2 loaded here, let's go ahead and do dual prints of each. Fly sorter with TPU, but it was way too floppy, so you printed several layers of cope infill, encapsulated TPU works great. Oh, cool. Where'd you get the fly swatter? I need to print fly swatters. We got too many flies here. Okay. Let's go to the slicer. Here, let me switch to the display. Let's go to the slicer, which is right here. Let's get rid of the basket. We were just doing this to show the time of the print and that. So we can go back to prepare. We can get rid of that basket. And we'll come down here. And I'm just going to print some. I don't want them to take too long. So just nothing too thick, nothing too thin. So we're going to go to Objects. And we'll add a primitive. Let's just add I want to add a cube. Okay, but I'm going to make that cube, let's scale the cube. We're going to bring it down so it's about not that high. Let's make it a couple millimeters thick. Let's make Z, we've got 0.4 layer height, so if we for 1.6, 2 millimeters tall, it's 5 layers, and we'll just make it, let's see, let's make it, doop. Make the X50, let's make it 60 millimeters long. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, I didn't stop. It's because I had all the dimensions locked. Z, I wanted 2 millimeters. No, don't lock. Why are you locked together? How do I unscale so don't, oh, uniform. There we go. I don't want it to be uniform. That's 20 and 60. So I just want to print a little piece, just something like that. That's all I want to do. Okay. Yeah, uncheck. I just couldn't, I couldn't see it. I kind of lost sight of it. We're going to copy that and paste that in. We'll do 2 of them. We'll move them a little distance from each other. Not that they're going to crash into each other. It doesn't matter. Okay, this one here, actually, first of all, I go to my device. So we have TPU. And this one here, it doesn't have, that I have found in this version of the Flashforge Slicer, just a sync button where I can sync my filaments. Unless, what's this one here? No, that's A and B, compare presets. But for my filament, there's no way to just say sync it, and it'll just sync my filaments based on what is loaded on my device. I can't figure out how that's working because there's nothing here. This is basically to add filaments, and this is to add and subtract. So what I've been doing is going plus and plus. Okay, and then under here, I've been going generic TPU and generic TPU. I would think it would just, why it wouldn't automatically sync, and maybe it's obviously something I'm missing. It should automatically sync to the filaments that I have loaded on the printer. So I'm probably doing something wrong at this stage. Like for instance, if I change over to this, no, let's not even do that. Let's cancel. But I'm obviously doing something wrong in order that it's not automatically picking up the filaments from the printer. I'm going to look into that. But for now, we're just going to do this. And then for generic TPU, we're going to edit it. Sonorica and U1 have a similar issue, sync stinks and lack thereof. Yeah, exactly. So it's not just me. So here, we're going to go here. We're going to print it at 240. No, we're going to do this at 220. And we're going to do this one at 220. And our bed is at, where's my bed? Textured PEI plate, where are we here? Smooth, textured PEI, 35. And we're going to go 50 on this and 50 on this instead of the default settings. And that should have automatically changed this one for me too. 50, 50, 220, 220, so we're okay on those. Number 3 was the, 1, 2, 3 was the black. And 4 was the pink. Go pink, that pink, oh, that's too bright. It's actually more of a light pink like that. There we go. And we'll make this one number 3, and we'll make this one number 4. Did it even change? It doesn't look like it changed that to pink. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and just slice those. We're just going to use the default settings, global, 0.2 layer height, strength. We're going to do, we'll just do 2 wall loops, whatever, 20% gyrated. We'll just leave it at this. Okay, so let's go ahead and slice the plate. These shouldn't take long to do. 31 minutes. Okay, well, we can talk for 31 minutes. And then what I want to do after, actually, I could probably do this all in one. Hang on 1 second before I do this. No, let's just do this and see how they work. I could probably let's cut that time down a little bit. Let's cut that time down just a little bit. Let's take this one and let's just make that not quite as big. I just want to see how these print. Okay, so we'll make this 10 millimeters wide instead. And we'll make this one 10 millimeters wide. That should cut down the printing time significantly. Not significant, but let's 10. Okay, let's see what that does. I should cut that down to 19 minutes. Okay, let's do that. Let's go print plate. No idle devices. Oh, you know what? This is the whole thing. You have to make sure you keep hitting OK on the screen. Yes, the filament was loaded, blah, blah, blah. If there's any unfinished business on the screen on the printer, it'll tell you the device is not ready. But here we go. We're going to send those now. And done. Okay, so we'll send those 2 to the printer and see how they work. It does. And for some reason with this slicer, for instance, I can't access my Polymaker filaments. I can't access my bamboo filaments. Every printer should let me import any filament preset that I want. And again, I think if there is a actual Creator 5 profile for the Orca slicer, just the Orca fork on its own, just the not the bamboo fork or the Flashforge fork, if there's available profile on the Orca slicer, I would switch to that, because if I'm not mistaken, I can import all those filaments into Orca slicer. Maybe they can't, just based on what you're saying here too. They don't want to let everyone know their recipe, I guess so. 3MF format filament profiles, yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. I get it. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here. Or we'll get the camera on this so we can keep an eye on this. We're going to have to raise this a little bit here. And hopefully we can get some focus going here. There we go. Okay, if I go this guy here. So right now, again, we've already loaded the filaments, but now we're actually... Is anything coming out of there? We're purging more filaments now. And I think this is the black it's doing. Yeah, and I think this is what it's doing right now. I think it's doing a flow control. You can't see it, but it is purging some more black TPU right here. And just watch how much it purges here. Watch how much of this black TPU it purges. Here, I'm going to back this camera up a little bit. And right here, you can see what it's purging here. And I'm going to guess, I can only guess that this is for the flow calibration. It's all I can guess. Why else would it have to do this when I've already loaded it? And just keep watching. I'll show you how much it's going to purge here. Let me just check the slicer, see if I had actually, I'm pretty sure I did have flow calibration turned on. Let's see, multi-material, no. I'm just so not used to these slicers sometimes because everything is in different places, blah, 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 blah. Quality, support, multi-material, others. It would be under others, wouldn't it, if I had the flow calibration turned on? Still going, right? That's a quarter spool's worth. Yeah, and that's what I want to look into for sure and see. But I think even for flow calibration, am I wrong? This is a lot of filament. You can make yourself a wig. Like, look at that, it's still going. At first I thought I did something wrong, but it's going to eventually stop. Okay, boom, boom, there we go. At least it's not being sucked into the thing up here. Hey, Matthew Maury. See, for even, yeah, it's a little excessive even for flow calibration, right? But again, there we go. It's going to stop now. I can hear it now. And we're going to cut. And still more. There we go. And there it goes. And here we go. And it's done. So that is all that it did. And for what reason, I'm not sure. I would think it's flow calibration or something, but here we go. Next it's going to pick up the pink and do the same thing. So it's still less waste than having to change over spool colors like on the old AMS, I say old AMS system, on the AMS systems, but still that seems a little excessive. So now it's cooling back, it's cooling that head down, and then it's going to go pick up the pink and do the same. Meantime, I'm trying to, it gets faster as it gets near the end. And I think what's doing, it's doing flow calibration, because what happens in flow calibration, I can hear the motors going sort of like zzz, and then zzz, and then zzz, through that whole process. And then once it gets near the end, then it goes, and then it goes, and almost like it purges a little bit at the end of the calibration. Calibrating across multiple temperatures? No, it heated it up to, I'll double check the temperatures, but I'm pretty sure it heated it up to printing temperature and then started that. So we'll see now, because now it's going to pick up the pink. Okay, so here we go, hang on. Now it's going to pick up the pink. Okay, and it's going to heat up. Here, if we look really close at the screen here, Okay, it's got the pink one now, and it's heating up the pink, which is head number 4. So it's leaving T3 where the black is parked at 120 degrees. Now it's heating up number 4 to its printing temperature of 220. Okay, and then it's going to start doing the same thing. And here we go. I heard it coming out, and there it is. It's just stuck to the top a little bit. That's really flexible stuff. Holy crap. It's sort of adhered itself to the bottom of the, there we are. Here it comes right there. So here comes the pink. And then what we'll do is we'll follow that drip down. And then we'll watch how much of the pink kind of comes out here. Okay, so it's the only, and I can hear right now the motors are going beep, like zip, zip, zip. So I think it is a calibration of some sort. Using the same TPU now to print off the road style for Warthog you're building using standard supports, and I'm surprised how well they are turning out. Awesome. Your U1 poops on flow calibration, but never actually measured the poop. Yeah. Hey, Icon. Old AMS system all the way back in 2025. Right? Right? Anyways, maybe it does require this much for flow calibration. I don't know. It's not a ton. It's not like it's using 100 grams of filament or something, right? Like it's, I guess I could always weigh it. Let me, while it's doing that, let me go grab my scale. What the heck? Where is my scale? There's my scale. Is that my scale? Is that actually? Yeah, let me grab my scale, see if this scale can weigh it. When it's done, I kept the black. Okay, here it goes. Now it's finished the bzz, bzz, bzz. Now it's just doing a quick purge. That doesn't look like as much as the black did. Okay, and it's going to finish off now. There we go. It's done. Let's go back up top. And it's going to start a print. So while that's doing that, let's just sort of bundle up all this pink that it did. Boy, this stuff is more flexible than, I don't know if I'm going to be able to ball this stuff up. There we go. And let's pull out the little scale here. See if it'll register on this scale. Here, let's, come on. Here we go. Can I get this camera down so I can see the scale? Doop. There we go. So, turn it on. Let's see. You can't really see it. But, okay, we're zeroed. If I put the black on, is this grams? Yeah. 0.7 grams. There we go. It did register it. There we go. So 0.7 grams for the black. Okay, boom, and boom, 0.7. And let's try the pink. 0.6 grams for the pink. So it's not like it's purging a ton. So this should be 13 with the two of them. 1.3 grams for the two colors. So that's all it purged to do the calibration, if that's in fact what it was doing. Oops, hang on, I didn't show you that. There we go. So if I take the pink off, take the black off, so we're zeroed. Okay, put the black on, 0.6 grams. Put the pink on, 0.7 grams. Two of them together, 1.3 grams. That's it, 1.3, 1.4. That's it. Okay, now we're doing the auto leveling. That's a pretty delicate scale, actually, come to think of it. When you think about it, it can measure the 0.6 grams. So there we go. What does it equal in raw filament? Like 2 inches, 4 inches? How many inches of being wasted? Good point. Got to switch the camera. I know. That's a good question. Okay, let's do a how can I test that? I'd have to actually get a piece of the TPU to test that. Maybe when it's done, we'll do that and see how much TPU it needs to do that. I know what I can do. Do I have any other TPU here? I do. Is this one open? Yes, it is. Okay, so here's some white TPU 95A. Here's some white 95A TPU. Different manufacturer, but this will give us a little idea. So if I just take some of this. Oh, the way I've weaved this in is kind of funky. So let's just take some of this white 95A TPU. Let's just say take this much here. So this is about, well, first of all, let's see how heavy this is. Oops, helps if I actually, there we go, put it on there. That's 0.5. Okay, let's take another little piece. We want to get to 0.6. Not quite. Okay, so here, this is all in the name of science, right? Let's take a nice long piece. Okay. And boom. Okay, let's take a nice long piece. Let's ball it up. Okay, and that is 1.1 grams. So we kind of want to see what 1.3 was, right? 1.1. If I put this little piece here on, no, that didn't make any difference. And this little piece, there's 1.6 grams of filament right there. Okay, 1.6 grams. Here is our ruler, our official LDO Motors Voron ruler. If we get right, you get extra entry in the drawing, maybe. Okay, 1.7 grams of TPU 95. Okay, so this, I need a longer ruler. You're going to need a bigger ruler. Okay, here's the TH3D official scale. How's that? This particular piece is, there's 370 millimeters, 370 plus 190, let's call it 180 because I added a little extra weight. So 180 plus 370 is 550 millimeters. 550 millimeters of filament, or for those of you like me that like this other measurement, 12, let's call it 15, 21 inches. 21 inches. So 21 inches in total between the two filaments to do that little calibration. That's this much filament. Okay, that's nothing. Mind you, if you add that up over several spools, yeah, it's going to add up to something, but so is all the purge waste we get from an AMS. And I'm not jumping on the fan wagon of this. I still love my AMS printers, believe me, but yeah, there we go. Anything to answer your questions, right? That's what the channel DWIT stands for. DWIT means doing what it takes. So I had to do what it takes to answer your questions. This stuff is so flexible. That's that pink shoe stuff. I can't break it. No, that'll cut into my skin. I can't break that. That's like the basketball filament. Holy crap, that's strong. Let me put this away. Let me put this away. So there you go. Any other questions? Any other questions, comments, concerns? People? Huh? Just out of curiosity, how much did this purge tower weigh? This purge tower weighed... Oh, I confused it. Oh, you know what I did? Tear. There we go. You got to hit tear because I put it on. There we go. 15.5 grams. This one weighed 3 grams, so 18.5 grams between the purge towers for these two prints here. It's really interesting stuff to know, isn't it? He always thought it stood for deal with it, Tim. Hey, probably does too. Ah, I cut my hand. Oh, deal with it, Tim. There you go. You thought it would be much less, as that spaghetti you had was very thin. It was very thin. It was really thin, but yeah. By weight volume, I guess, I suppose. Unless, of course, heating it up makes it lighter or heavier or whatever. You know what I mean. Oh, we got a little bit of stringing happen. We got a little string coming out of there from the pink. That pink is very, very... Let's see. Can I pop that out of there? There it is. A little bit of that really thin, stringy TPU. I don't know what that was. Ugh. Stringy. Right now we're just doing the bed leveling, the mesh calibration. If you put nozzle 1 in nozzle 2's nesting spot, does the printer know? I don't know. But why would you? It's not hard to, well, it's hard to mess them up. But that's a good question. I don't think it would know. Like, where do you come up with these things, Matthew? I don't know. I don't know. Here's my scale. Wonder if I stepped on this thing, what it would say. Say one at a time, please. Yeah. So that's still got the, oh, that's still got the plastic on it from, or is that supposed to come off? Well, that is supposed to come off. Come on, there. Oh, now that's easier to read. Holy crap. Okay, anyways, whatever, I digress. Thinking of problems before your nephews find them. Oh, too funny. I don't think there's anything specific that tells the dock itself that, hey, this is head 1, this is head 2. Because from what I can gather, let me have a look here. I just got to be careful not to interrupt the calibration. But if I pull head 1 off, other than a magnet here, I don't see anything connecting and saying, okay, you're docked in the right one. There's a magnet and a receptor here, but no, I don't think so. I don't think it would know. I think if you mix them up, it'll mix your colors up. So, but at a quick glance, you can tell, boom, boom, boom. It would be very easy to tell if one of them was mixed up because you'd actually have these wires crossing. Now, and it could possibly cause an error, because if it tried to pick this one up when it's crossed over this one, it may actually jam if it comes to try to go to the far side of the bed. Don't know. But that's a good question. That's a very good question. Okay, Guy the Jedi, we'll see you later. Take care. Where is the AI when you need it? It's right here. It's right up here. So you're saying with the right G code you can braid the tubes. I suppose you could. Okay, here we go. We're going to print the pink or the black first. Let's see what happens. We'll do this test on the TPU, and then we'll probably do the draw, and then we'll do the test where I'm going to mix the TPU colors and see if they stick together. See if I can do like a flexible TPU combined with a not quite so flexible TPU. They should work. So it looks like right now we ran our little purge line. Oh, we're running a very slow purge line here. There we go. Okay, now we're starting our, looks like we're doing pink first. Yeah, we're doing little pink square first. Now, I don't know if that total run time, it says 16 minutes left to do what we're doing here. Here, let's get you all, let's see if I can get this so it focuses on the right spot this time. So, there we go. There, we'll actually watch the tool change. I love watching the tool swap happen, so let's sort of do something like, can I get a little lower and then raise that up a little bit there, kind of like that. That way you can see the tool swap happen. I'd be curious to know if it, no, I didn't tell it to print object all the one first, so it's probably going to do tool swap. I should have just maybe gone in there and said print the one first, then print the other, whatever that's print by object or whatever that setting is. Can you run foam filament through that printer? Well, this pink stuff is going to be the closest we get to foam. That's losing blurriness, or it's losing focus here. If I raise that up a little bit more. Why won't you focus on the... But the color swaps are fast. So what this does do, this question was asked to me too, is when it's getting close to the end of the one color and it knows it needs to swap the other, it does start preheating the other head. So that's, yeah, it starts preheating the other head as it gets close to finishing the one color. So that by the time you swap the head, it's already up to temperature. And again, it's going slow because it's right now it's TPU. TPU runs much slower than than your PLAs and your PETGs and so forth, right? So, and then we're running the black, and it's created its purge tower. At high zoom levels, the autofocus will always tend to focus on the object closest to the lens. Yeah. Hey, Jason FLT, Flashforge, welcome. Yeah, this is we put this together last week, the Creator 5, and we're just doing some TPU test prints now. My first time putting TPU through this. And we've got black TPU on the left, pink TPU on the right. The black on the left is 95A, the TPU on the right is 75A. So we're just seeing how well this works. I should have done it by object, so it just prints the one at a time. But hey, it's always fun to watch the nozzle swaps. Well, I really like the stealth changer as I built it. This is intriguing. Yeah, this is fun. I just wish this wasn't in the way. I wish I could actually get a better lower view, possibly. Like if I came down like this, and you get a little better view of the tool changers there. At the same time seeing it print. It's even more of a headache, yeah. I can probably switch this lens to manual focus, but hey. So here we go. So right now, as it's doing this, I can see that the tool head number, it's already up to 215 degrees right there. So it's already up to temperature by the time it picks up the next head. So it doesn't wait till it picks up the head to heat up. It's heating it up as it knows it's getting ready to change. So that's pretty smart. So now it's just, again, purge tower. And back onto the pink. And this, it won't take too much longer for us to see the results, 14 minutes. So while you're here, whoever's popped in right away, right at the pin to the bottom of the chat, you have a link. You can go enter some Polymaker Filament. You won't get the code tonight. You might not even get it tomorrow. You might not even get it next week, but you will get your code eventually because there is an issue going on with Polymaker and the code generator, and we're trying to work on that. So, but a winner will be a winner. You just won't be. So here goes some more of the pink. Actually, I wonder if I could, let me see if I can get you a little better view. Let me just do this for now. And let's just see how high I can get this camera up. I can get this camera up pretty high. I can get you a view from the top, from the actual top of the printer. There we go. I just have to extend some legs here. Make this tall. Increase my tripod. Come on. Here we go. Oops. Don't break anything now. And then if I move that out. Here we go. Now that's not a bad view. I don't mind that view. And it's in focus. Hey, do it. Have they fixed it? I was a test dummy for it. Of course, every time I say he misses it. What? Fixed what? That's a pretty good view. I like that view. Oh, the Polymaker codes. No, I haven't. I haven't heard. I messaged them last week, said they were looking into it, and I just haven't heard back. So I am going to message them again tomorrow and see what's going on. They have fixed it, you said. Okay. They have fixed it. Okay. You probably said that earlier and I missed it. Yeah, I sometimes miss some of the chats because there's so much going on. Yeah, okay, well then if they have fixed it then I guess I need to get on them tomorrow and say I need my codes. It's probably a different link. I would assume it's a different link. Let me see. Let me try the old link and see if it's working. Let me just try while this is printing. Because I'm going to need to give away 3 now, so let me see if I get codes while this is working. There, and I'm going to need 3. No, that was on the 28th, and I'm going to need 3. See if this works. Submit. Okay, I just did it through the link that I have. We'll see if I get the codes. You never know. Oh, Brent Ferguson, yes, yes, yes. They're all boxed up, ready to go. I apologize for taking so long with that, but yeah, I'm sending you more than you think. So, much more than you think. I'm an incorrigible chatterbox, so I'm definitely part of that problem. Too funny. Yeah, these tools are great. One thing I was surprised, and it's probably just me because I'm a weakling, but you know, when you change your filament, you have to basically squeeze. Here, let's pop this off. You have to basically, when you change filament, squeeze this guy to cut your filament. It takes a little bit of pressure to actually cut the filament. So I like the fact that I can pull a tool off while it's printing and it doesn't error out. I learned something else, an interesting thing today too. I don't know, the one question that I've never seen asked is there a filament runout sensor anywhere in this system? I don't know. I noticed that I was running low on the white filament when I was running this little basket thing. And the printer doesn't freak out. Exactly. Hey Mark, how you doing? Hello Mark, Voyager. Yeah, when I was printing this little basket, I realized I was going to run out of white filament. So while it was printing the blue, I popped the white head off, cut the filament, pulled the little bit that was left out, put in a new roll of filament, pushed the button, pushed it in, perfect. It just continued right away. So the fact I can hot swap filament, I suppose is what you want to call it. While it's printing one color, you can swap filament out of another color. So theoretically, you can get more than 4 colors if you want to swap a filament out at a certain point. So there's that. Because I honestly don't know if there's runout sensors in these. I would imagine they do, but if there is a runout sensor in these anywhere, it's going to be in the head somewhere. Like it's going to be in here somewhere. And it would have to be somewhere pretty close up here before it actually hits the melting zone. So, yeah. I would hope there is runout sensors in there. I mean, this is 2026 after all. Maybe explore the settings menus for filament sensor. Yeah. But I guess I can look into that. So how are we doing here? These little prints are coming out okay. It says it's got 8 minutes left. And we'll just compare. So what we've seen so far is that we can print 75A and 95A TPU. No problem so far. And then we're going to find out after this if we can mix the two and if they'll stick together. After we do a winner. Let me just do a quick Google search. Does the Creator 5 have filament runout sensors? Let's see what chat. Yes, the presence of filament runout sensors depends on specific model of your Creator. Okay. Creator 5 and Creator 5 Pro, both these models are equipped with built-in filament runout detection and tangle sensors. Okay, so they do have them, and yeah, they got to be right in the head somewhere. Right in the head somewhere. Tangle detection is intelligent features. Well, I'm glad they have intelligent features, because this guy here, I don't know, sometimes I wonder about my intelligence features. Sometimes I wonder. What was the link to the basket? I know you had posted it, but can't seem to scroll up and see it. Let me find it for you again. Now that, or let me first of all, let me duplicate this tab, because I want to keep that flexible plier link. Or where did I put the basket? Oh, right here. Copy. And here comes a link to the basket there. Your prime tower answer your stick together question. Oh, that's true. That's true, Sissy Kid. And here you go, Cyber Bob. Here's a link to that basket. There you go, right there. It's a cool basket. I don't know, for those of you that didn't see it. Like, oh. That basket turned out beautiful. Like, look at that. Straight off the printer. I love the look of that thing. Perfectly flat bottom layer. I did cheat. I did use some 3D lac spray. But yeah. Can't complain about that. Look at that. It's a pretty funky looking basket. I'm going to take that to the office, probably use it for, I don't know, whatever. I like it. Anyways, I like it. Or the tower would fall down half the time. I haven't built up a tower big enough. This is the, I think it's all to do with bed adhesion, honestly. I don't know what the problem could have been, but this was the tallest tower I've done so far. So, and I had no problem with it. I think possibly part of the issue with the tower, and you think about this in a sense. Now, this, they've surrounded the tower with the one color, and then the other colors are purging inside the tower. The videos I saw where the tower was falling over, they were actually mixing the colors across the tower. So if you had a PET-G and a TPU, or if you're running PET-G as a support for PLA, yeah, of course your tower is going to have a weak spot because they're not going to stick. But if you do the outside of your tower with PLA and then purge all your PET-G into the tower, you're not going to have that problem anymore. So maybe that was the fix for it, was to have the outside of the tower be one consistent material versus having different layers for all your materials. That's what I would have done to fix it. You don't need it with a cryo grip build plate. No, you don't. Yeah. What's the infill on this basket? I think I just used a 20% gyro infill on the bottom. But yeah. But yeah, the 3D lac spray was perfect for keeping a thing that big square on the bed. But again, with a cryo grip, I wouldn't have had to do it. But I don't have a cryo grip plate on that thing yet. So I got to try the cryo grip plates on that and see if they'll actually work. They're a little bit smaller. Yeah, another CG. The infill on this guy, I think I used 20% gyroid infill on the bottom, and I think I had five top layers and 3 bottom layers or something like that. The base of this isn't all that thick. I'd say it's probably 5 or 7 millimeters thick. So yeah, but printed good, and that's the white is Creality high-speed white filament. Anyways, we're going to close the draw in a second here, guys. We're only a few minutes away from this print being done. We're going to close the draw. It looks like we're 4 minutes away. We're going to close the draw, and we're going to do the draw while this is finishing printing. So get down there and enter right now if you want to win. I still haven't received the codes, even though I requested them. I have a feeling it might be a different, let's just see if I got them. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I did. I got the codes. I got the codes, so we're good. I can send the 3 winners. They're tonight's and the last 2 winners. I got them. So they did fix it. Awesome. Good. Just take me a second because I haven't set it up to email the winners, but I will email tonight's winner right away, and the 2 winners from the previous weeks, which is 3D Printcraft UK and Matthew Morey. I will send you your codes now that I've got them. Thank you guys for your patience. It's been good. Yeah, they are Tuxedo. Those are great plates, those cryo grip plates. The one in your Centuria Carbon should fit. Yeah, it's a tiny, tiny bit smaller than the Flashforge plate, even though it's the same size build volume. The plate itself is a little bit smaller, but it should work. It should work. And we'll give that a try. So go ahead and enter the draw. Okay, I can take my camera off of this now. We've seen it. It's going to finish up in a second here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close the draw, and we're going to do a draw for some Polymaker Filament. Let me just go to the draw, and we have enough. We have lots of responses. That's great. We're going to close it. You've all had a lot of time to do it. Boom, done. And we're going to save. And we're going to download the sheet. Download responses. Here we go. Responses are downloaded. Let me find it here. Downloads. Pop it to my desktop. Replace the destination file. We don't need last week's. And let's open it up. Open up the spreadsheet. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay, let's close this. Don't save. Okay. And Excel. I don't have any other document open. What were you talking about? Okay, let's open this. There we go. Here's everybody. And again, same rules apply. If you enter more than once, you are disqualified. But let's just have a quick check, see if anybody broke the rules. And it doesn't look like anybody broke the rules. Look at that. You guys are so good. Okay, let's highlight everybody's name. There we go. And copy, Command, Control C, minimize. Let's bring up the draw screen. And where am I? Where am I? Here we are. And there's the stream. Look at that. They're totally worth it. Okay. Okay, so here's the way this works.
The Polymaker giveaway! Hey! All the answered names get to play! Hey! Count it down, shout it out, don't be late, time for the Polymaker giveaway!
Look at that, it's all done. Let's remove everybody here. We're going to delete all the names from last week. What we do here is, first of all, we go to our dice. We go to our rolling lucky dice. Look at that, it's the DeWitt dice. So what happens is the first roll, we're going to roll these dice twice. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? If I go here, let's reset the dice. Reset. Okay, we're going to roll the dice twice. The lower of the numbers is how many times we're going to mix the wheel. The higher of the numbers is how long we're going to spin the wheel for. Okay? Just so you know. So here we go. We're going to roll the dice twice. We're going to get 2 numbers. The high number is how long we spin the wheel. The low number is how many times we mix it. So here we go. First roll is... Dum, da, da, dum. Oh, one of the dice is leaning. That's leaning. It won't let me do that. So let's roll again. There we go. And our number is 22. First number is 22. And the second number is dun, da, 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 24. Okay, so we're going to mix it 22 seconds. We're going to spin it for 24 seconds. 22 and 24. What are the odds you win twice in a row? You never know. It could happen. It could happen. 22 and 24. So let's go back to the giveaway.
The Polymaker giveaway! Hey! All the answered names get to play! Hey! Count it down, shout it out, don't be late, time for the Polymaker giveaway!
24, and then we're going to paste in the names. Doo-doo! And we're going to shuffle it for 22 times. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and finally 22. Okay, good luck everybody as we spin. Boom, here we go. Good luck to the winner. 24-second spin. Stare at the middle of the wheel. Stare at the middle of the wheel and tell me if you want to play a game. Oh, I saw that. Anyways. And the lucky winner is, you got to be here to win. Dun, 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 dun. The lucky winner is going to be Sissy Kid. Sissy Kid, congratulations. Sissy Kid, are you here? Are you here? Suddenly I think I'm a dog. You're right, yet another Dan, for sure. Sissy Kid, are you here? Say something, Sissy Kid, congratulations. Dun, 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 dun. We'll give Sissy Kid a few seconds. I saw him earlier. Dun, 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 dun. Confirmed. Confirmed? I didn't see him confirm it. Oh, there he is. Sissy Kid's there. Woohoo. Good job, Sissy Kid. Congratulations. You have won the draw. Did I just, what's going on? Oh, I hit the wrong button, Tim. Duh. Okay, congratulations, Sissy Kid. I'm going to send you your information shortly here. Actually, let's do that right now while we're here, since I got it and I got the code. Losers only give away 1 day. What? Losers only give away 1 day. I don't. In other words, I can only give away 1 roll of filament per stream, but I got 3 codes because I owe 3 people codes. Let's see if I have that. Let's see if I have that email prep to go. Give me 1 second here. Right here, Polymaker win, and bum. Here we go. I just got to grab the code. Got to make sure I don't use the same code more than once because I got 3 sent to me here. So we'll use this last one here. Okay, and I'm going to paste it into the draft. Okay, and I'm going to paste that there, and I'm going to find your email there, Sissy Kid. Give me 1 second. Look at that. It's right there. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to copy that. Command C, Control C on the PC, and Control V. And we're going to say, oh, where are we here? Where's the send button? There, send. Yay! There you go, Sissy Kid, it's on its way. And you know what? What the heck? While we're here, I owe 2 other people spools. So let's find, his name's got to be in here somewhere. While we're here, we may as well do this while we're here. Oh, he didn't enter. Did he enter? Did Matthew Morey enter? There he is. Okay, Matthew, I'm sending you your code from last week right now. There we go. Copy. And let's see. We're going to go to you. And I'm going to get the second code. Give me a second here. Let's just get this all caught up right now. Okay. Let's get the second code here. Okay, copy. And let's paste that code here. And Matthew, yours is on its way right now. Awesome. And then there's one more I got to do. Okay, just one more. Bear with me, folks. I owe everybody these rolls. So then copy that. Okay, and let's grab the email here. There we go. Let's paste the code in here. And the email address I got is, this is going to 3D Printing Craft UK because he won 2 weeks ago. And there we go. And here we go and send. So 3D Print Craft UK, yours is on the way as well. Everybody is now caught up. All the winners are caught up. Let's get back to here. Everybody should be caught up. Thank you guys for your understanding and your patience, and congratulations again. Congratulations to Sissy Kid, and congratulations to Matthew Morey from last week, and congratulations to 3D Printcraft UK from 2 weeks ago. You guys have all won, and you're all caught up now. You guys should have it right now, right now. There we go. I always pay my debts. That's so true. That is so true. Losers only give away one day. Losers only give away. Oh, I see what you mean, Icon. Losers only give away one day. Okay, well, hey, let's talk about it. Yes, Tuxedo's got that right on. We've had a couple instances on my stream anyways where people have won either 2 weeks in a row or they've won within the last month, and they always just say draw again. I already won last week, or I already won 2 weeks ago. We have a great community, as Tuxedo says here, where people are not, I don't like to use the word greedy because I never think that, but they like to let others win as well. So yeah, it's been great. So far so good. Okay, let's have a quick peek. Oh, I extended that tripod and it's huge. Okay, here we are, 2 TPU test prints. If I go overhead here, now again, TPU coming off these build plates can be fun, but let's just grab this and rip it off. Oh, that is rubbery, holy crap. And it kind of bent a little bit when I pulled it off. That's the 75A TPU. It actually feels and looks like a stick of chewing gum. So let's get the 95A. Let's do what I suggested earlier in the stream, and I just take my blade and I very carefully get a start here. Oh man, this stuff sticks really well to this. Holy crap. There we are. There we are. There we go. There we go. 95A didn't bend at all. It just came off really nice. And then I'm just going to grab this little purge tower off here if I can. There we go. So we have a clean bed there. Boy, that stuff sticks really well. Okay, so here we have, let me bring this down a bit here. Hang on one sec. Here we go. So I can show you on this camera. This camera's a little clearer. Okay. So here's the 75A, the pink that we did right here. Okay. And it's very, very, very flexible. Like extremely flexible. This is the filament that they sent me to print the shoes in. Okay, so very, very, very flexible. Then we have the 95A right here. Doop, doop, doop. The black, which is, again, quite flexible, but just not as pliable, I suppose, is the word, as the 75A, but they both printed extremely well. So they both printed just the way I expected them to. So yeah, and you're right, whoever mentioned it, based on the purge tower, the two that adhered together very well. I don't necessarily have to do that test again. So these two colors, the 75 and the 95, you could actually print in the same model, and it looks like the adhesion between them it's perfect. Like that's not separating at all. Like if I grab that, I can't even grab one of the pink strands because it's stuck so tight to the black. So printed really well. Really well. So it looks like it's not gum. I'm telling you, things I'll do for a stream. 75A seems like a guaranteed clog. So far, no. Unless it prints more, unless if I do a bigger print, but so no, that printed that really well. Unloading it should be just as easy too. And then the 95A, so that's good. These things printed and they're clean. Now the other thing again is I didn't print anything enough, big enough or far enough apart or something to check stringing. Okay, I would imagine the 75A may have a little issue with stringing depending on what it is I'm printing, right? This 95A, this is the Polymaker 95A HS TPU. That stuff I've printed a lot on different printers, and it prints extremely well. So staying tuned for Is It Gum coming up next. Is it gum? Oh. What was the pink filament again? The pink filament is, this was sent to me from a company in China, and this is the pink filament. It's called from a company called Sting 3D. Okay. I don't know why they call it 3D pizza, maybe because it's shaped like a pizza box. World confined 3D filament, world confirmed 3D filament, premium quality material. And then the actual nitty gritty on this stuff is right here. It's Shoeflex 9075A, 1.75 millimeters Satura pink, 750 gram roll. So, and then again, there's the company is Sting 3D. And you can order that on AliExpress, this particular one. Now, shoe filament, because along with the filament that I got came this shoe, which I guess was run with that filament. Whoops. Timothy, don't kick your tripod. Oh, be nice to your tripod. Here, let's zoom this out a little bit. Here, this is the shoe that came with that filament. So Sting 3D, there's the bottom of the shoe. Look how nice that print is. Look at that. That is a nice clean print for a shoe. Now this is my fault. I stretched and I broke a few pieces on the back, but that, and then the inside of the shoe, hard to see, but will that lighten up a bit maybe? No, but the inside, but that's what this filament supposedly is capable of. I don't think I could fit my size shoe on the print bed though. So boom, 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 all that. So pretty nice. I didn't confirm that filament, did you? Confirm. No, I did not. Comfortable. I don't know. This will not fit me. But sticking my hand in the shoe, it feels like it would be pretty comfortable. This would be too big for you. Yeah. Oh, there's somebody here. Want us to come and say hi? Yeah. Look, and for those, look how big this guy's getting. Like he's going to outgrow me, but you also what?
Mom needs your car keys.
She needs my, oh my gosh, again? Yeah. Here, I'll phone the insurance company and I'll phone the police, make sure they know she's coming. Okay.
Guys, hit that like button. Subscribe.
No, get over here and say that. Don't, just get over here. Get.
Guys, hit that
I know
like
you
button
can.
And subscribe. Goodbye.
Okay, well, whatever. See you later.
See you later.
Maria yells down. She says, I can hear you. I figured she's watching. She knows that. I'm still going to call the police and the insurance company up my no. How are they getting the print bed texture on the parts that don't touch the plate? That's a great question. That's a good question right across the whole thing, because this thing was printed, I guess, sort of like that. I'm trying to think how, no, I don't know how this thing was printed. No way they're printing it like that. So based on, if you can see on the end here, you can see that almost looks like it's going to be the top based on the, or the bottom. But from what I've seen in the file they sent me for this, it prints, I believe, like this. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe a fuzzy skin setting, because yeah, look at that texture. Look at that nice even texture all across the bottom of that shoe. It would, and then inside it's smooth, and inside it's smooth. So yeah, maybe a fuzzy skin setting or something on this. But yeah, that's it's extremely impressive. It was definitely 3D printed. You can see that it was 3D printed, but it's really, really impressive, this one. So yeah, with supports. Yeah, might have been multiple printer. Possible. I mean, it's the seams, and the seams are clean in between here, like this. The seams along here are extremely clean, like nobody's, you know. And I don't think they glued it together, or, I mean, this is all definitely one piece. And then you got the weave pattern in here. I mean, it's pretty incredible how they did that. I'd love to have seen that done, or see the printer that was done on. Was this done on a typical printer like ours, or was this done on a higher end printer? I don't know. So, yeah. And it's nice and flexible both ways. So, yeah, pretty cool. There we go. TPU 75A. Yeah. Yes, Tuxedo. TPU 75A. It's actually called, they call it TP ShoeFlex 9075A. 1.75 millimeter. Yeah. And they say nozzle, 0.4 millimeter nozzle, maximum volumetric speed 3 to 3.6 millimeters per squared per second, and 0.6 millimeter nozzle, maximum volumetric speed 4 to 5 millimeters cubed per second. So, but yeah, I would stick with probably a 0.4 nozzle to get the details like this, I suppose, but I don't know. This looks like it was probably a 0.4 nozzle on it, but that just seems, that would take hours. Imagine how long that would have taken to print too, at the speeds that this stuff prints at. So that would have taken a while to print. TP shoe. That's funny. Same manufacturer. Yeah, these guys, this is the same, this came from the same company that sent that pink, that filament that I just printed, this pink 75U filament. And I could actually make some fake gum with this. Tell people it's Willy Wonka's everlasting gum, and just tell them you just chew this and it'll never dissolve in your mouth, because that looks like a stick of gum. It really does. Doesn't that look like a stick of gum? Look at that. Anyways, enough of that. Okay, guys. Well, that's kind of 24 hours or more easily per shoe. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's kind of it. That's our look for tonight at this. We'll see how my week goes this week, and I'm going to do a whole bunch more printing on this and do some more testing. Now that I know we have the TPU, I'm actually going to unload that and just run some PLA through it when I'm done here, just so I don't leave TPU sitting in the hot end. And plus it'll help me realize if it's going to be just as easy to unload it as it was to load it. So you might have to give it a go. There you go. In the adult entertainment market. Think you can find a material that say, hey dude, uses for shoes, and glue it into TPU sole and be a good mix of materials. Yeah, what the heck. Okay, but that's it for tonight. We had a little bit of a look at this. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate that. Again, Jerry, if you've been watching, or if you are watching this later, wishing you a speedy recovery. Everybody, thoughts and prayers go to Jerry, who had his surgery yesterday or the day before. And he's in the recovery now, so he's hopefully doing good, and hopefully gonna get back to us sooner than later. So, but thank you everybody. I appreciate y'all. Congratulations again to the winners. Sorry it took so long to get your codes, but you're all caught up now, and we're all good. And that's it until next week. But everybody have a wonderful week. Appreciate y'all being here, and we'll talk to you again next time. Have a wonderful night and take care. Bye for now, everybody.